Hey, this is Time Bomb, and if it's your first time checking out the channel, hit that subscribe button to catch all the updates. Thanks a lot for joining me here today, guys. I'm gonna do a breakdown on the 4/6 speed. This is my 4/6 speed ebook. I'm gonna go over the plays that I use, and they basically some breakdowns from my earlier videos that I'll go over again and kind of introduce in some different ways and let you know exactly how I use them. But first thing I want to do is show my adjustments that I'm basically using out of the 4/6 speed cover 2 invert, which is the main play that I am using. I typically have a outside linebacker right here on the right end spot. So someone who's actually can kind of rush the quarterback and maybe play a little bit of coverage in a spy or just a little hook zone right there, at least just standing there to make it something of a threat so they won't throw in that little short area at least. So in this case, I'll put Clowney in there. Maybe not the best, but halfway there because he's not very good in coverage, but he's an option at least. So we'll go with the cover 2 invert. Something like halfback wheel here. Okay, so the first thing I do is I base a line and I mean maybe spread out these guys a little bit like this, and then I'll grab this middle linebacker and I will blitz him and put the line onto a contain blitz, and then I will move my middle linebacker right here, right over the center, and I'll just kind of hover in that area, and then right off the snap of the ball, I'm looking over, kind of just got to watch the middle and to this side. If he makes a quick throw off the seam, because I've put my other middle linebacker in the blitz, he's got to work that area. That's why sometimes I won't blitz the linebacker here, or the outside linebacker that I subbed into the right end spot. That's why I'll put him into this little hook zone, because I may need to just watch this area over here to this side, so it doesn't give me as much flexibility if I need to also watch over there. So that's why I'll have that hook zone there. But also I've got this the safety in that mid read, which he'll kind of come down and play some balls, so it just depends, but he also watches deep. If I am worried about a deep threat over top, I'll put him into that deep blue, which is in that case I definitely need that linebacker who's subbed in at the right end to either be in that hook zone or possibly a spy, but I definitely need help with that. So let's just take a look at how quickly the pressure actually gets in really decently off this play. I'm going to be using both controllers. Yeah, we got halfback wheel set up here. See, he's going to get almost immediately in there. I had a read that I didn't quite throw in time there and B over the middle. But you can see the pressure gets in there pretty decently with this play set up that way. So if I'm really worried about how someone's running halfback wheel on me, what I'll do is I'll man up half the field, actually. I'll put my 1 CB, see I'll man him up on Rice there, and then I'll put the this linebacker here manned up on Tomlinson, the running back. So I should basically have their routes locked up, and then I only have to worry about the middle of the field, pretty much B, who's going to be coming over the middle, and I will user him in this kind of case, just depending on how well you know what your opponent's sending at you. But when I want to specialize it, I'll kind of look for something like that. Controller select kind of looks for something like that I'll be able to take out. See the routes are covered on the left. Pressure's almost getting in there. I pretty much only got the deep stuff on the right side of the field, and the pressure was coming from that side, so I have to roll out that way. Everything's locked down. Pressure gets in there. So you can see these kind of adjustments can definitely shut down something like halfback wheel or anything that's moving from the right to the left of the field, maybe like a PA crossers kind of play as well, can be shut down. Let's take a look at something like that. In this kind of play where we've got the, oh wow, come on, controller, stop unplugging. So in this kind of play where you have a couple of the routes moving over from the left side of the field to the right side of the field, I'm kind of just thinking about who I want to be watching with my user, Brown, over the middle of the field. who's going to be kind of cutting across. That's who I'll be watching until he gets into those other zones on the right side of the field. But I would man up Moss and Rice in this case with those men on those defensive backs that I have subbed in the 4-6 speed package automatically. They can bring great coverage, so I'm just basically got to watch Brown, and I might put my sub-C Clowney there who's subbed in on the right end into a little hard flat, just so there's something underneath, just in case one of those routes did end up just pulling like a little out route or a zig or whatever it was to that side, maybe a corner route that I just wanted to make sure there was someone there, so he didn't have it just free and open. He at least had to think about it for a second, and then hopefully my user would be in behind it. And that's basically my thinking on a play like this. And then my user's right here, just kind of going to watch Brown and see what he's going to do, and then this controller keeps unplugging. And then, yeah, so it's just up to me here. I'm going to play the QB. I think B's going to kind of get open over there, but by the time I throw it and he gets to that side, the next zone's going to drop in on him because my user's just going to pass up on him. Everything deep on the left side was locked down. So that's kind of how I'm using the 4-6 speed package to kind of just shut down some play, like send some pressure either with this guy right here, or I'm going to be manning up on the other side, kind of shut down whatever I'm seeing. Those are the adjustments that I'm making after I've seen what my opponent's sending at me, and I'm kind of picking up on their tendencies. And that's why I like the 4-6 speed cover 2 invert specifically, a play that I am scheming out of constantly when I'm playing defense with this book. So I'm using that play to kind of make adjustments from, and then specializing with other plays, or using that 4-6 speed to send some different looks either with pressure or with a lot of coverage. So that's how it's working for me. All right, we can take a look at some of the gameplay footage I have here using these adjustments out of the 4-6 speed package. So we're taking a look here. My opponent's under center. You can see I've just moved in that other middle linebacker blitzing, and I have also that right end subbed in blitzing, and we're able to just shut down the run. Even though I couldn't get my user involved, we still basically take him down just past the line of scrimmage. In this next play, we see I've got the same setup, except I've got the blitzing linebacker, but my right end, who's the middle, Lawrence Taylor, subbed in at right end, is in a spy. See, the line is shut down right there. QB can't get anywhere. Pressure gets in. Every route is shut down. We get the sack. Here, we're looking, it's like we're sending everybody, and I've just got my user, I think he's going to drop down to hover over the line, so just kind of try to occupy that A gap just for a second and help the pressure get in there. Oh, I switched the DT into a spy. Just as the ball is snapped, I drop my user down. All those routes get shut down, and we're going to sack him on the 1-yard line there. See, the pressure can get in there really quick using that blitzing setup. Here I see I've got the outside manned up, and my free safety, Sean Taylor's in a deep blue there. So I'm just going to be looking to user over the middle of the field and then pass off those routes to the different zones. I think the outside should be manned up, so my job is just going to be to shut down the middle of the field. And this is where I think using manning up that side is so good, because I've picked up on the tendency of my opponent to run those routes, from the left to the right. So I know that I have the coverage there. He tries to fit one in, safety drops down, comes up with the pick. So that's exactly what I'm looking for out of this 4-6 speed, to just be able to pick up on what my opponent's doing and shut it down. One of the best plays I'm using here is this cover 2 invert, because you're able to stop the run, stop the pass, and get some heat. This defense pretty much does it all, so it's one you're definitely going to want to try to work into your game here. I'm using the Cincinnati Bengals playbook, which has it's a 4-3 book, has a 4-6 speed, and so good nickel packages if that's what you're looking for. So the first thing I do is I hit Y to base a line, then I hit the RB button and up on the left stick to spread the line. Then I might take my CB and just kind of move him back a little bit there. For both CBs, I might do that and just spread out these other CBs that are in the outside linebacker kind of positions, and just turn the blitz into contains, hit the LB, shift the line to the left, then double tap LB, hit X, and put him into a spy. So that's the kind of look. I'm going to user this guy right over the middle of the field, and the last thing that I do is I turn that safety in the middle of the field and that mid-read, I'm going to turn him into a deep blue, just sort of protects against any sort of deep one-play touchdowns your opponent might throw at you, and it does leave this sort of like this area that he's in the middle of the field. He can leave it a bit open, and I may have to get back there as the middle linebacker. And the only thing is I might leave him in that mid read if they aren't threatening me deep over the middle of the field, because those deep halves that the CBs are in actually do a pretty good job of covering most deep stuff. So I'll keep him there most of the time, but if I notice they're running posts in that middle of the area, not letting them develop, or I feel like I can get the pressure and stop them before then I'll leave it in that mid read. But most of the times, it's going into that deep blue. If I think they're running, I might even move him a little closer into the box here. So let's check out this play. I've just got the offense against me running a random play. Oh, so he tries to do a little run pass option, and I end up taking him out. So we're gonna quickly set this up. See, we're in it. We're ready to go. If I can get it set up really quick, I'd say within 3 or 4 seconds I have this set up. Oh yeah, there we go. Got a nice. I love the way the animations are coming, like right there. You know, we're getting it in really easy. See, boom, got that set up. Real quick setup. Sometimes I'll even hover my linebacker right over the center here in the middle, because I'm only sending 3, so it might help to delay that a little bit. And it sends a bad pass, but we had the coverage right there. Even if it had gotten him, we're going to lay that hit right away. Oh, we didn't even get it set up here, but it's going to just stop the run, no problem. I'd say all these adjustments are just to help with the pass. Oh. All right, all good to go here. Oh, we're on our wrong user. Okay. Oh, what do we do there? We messed up something. A little screenplay, but we're gonna stop him pretty quickly there. Barely even got 5 yards on us against the screen. Boom, we're into that defense that quick. I feel like it takes the AI forever to snap the ball here. We're gonna run the ball, and he's not gonna get anywhere on it. So let's take a look at some of the gameplay footage I have here as well. So in the first play, we see here, it looks like I kept the safety in the mid-read. I'm using him to help support the run. I was just in the backfield ready to just jump down on it. Here again, I see I have the safety in the deep blue. Same thing. We're going to be able to stop the run regardless of how we have them set up. Here again, I seem to be using the safety, taking care of the middle of the field, and we're able to shut down most of those routes, so then we get that sack in there. Same thing here. Looks like I'm using the linebacker. We've got a deep blue. We've got the field on lockdown. We're able to get that pressure in again and get the sack. Here I see he's motioning out. I start to click in to send that spy. We get the pressure going over there. He's got a throw on the run. We're able to get a big pick just like that. This play is getting so many picks for me, getting so many sacks, user alerts. It's pretty much my go-to play, I'd say, in weekend league, salary cap, and all modes. Sack was just about to get in there. He throws it deep, and he's in that deep blue. He's going to pick that ball off, no problem. Here again, we see we've got just basically got him in a box here. He's got to force one downfield, and like he throws it into double coverage. We're going to come up with that little click and pick there, get the ball, do a terrible run. I have the worst interception returns, I think, in Madden. Here we see it looks like a little, what is it called? I can't really think of the name, but we come up with a big pick there deep in the end zone. Just run that little wheel route, halfback wheel. That's what that play was. Again, here I see I cut off this route amazingly. I was on the user, and I didn't have him set up in the deep blue. Looked like he had me over top, but he just threw it like a bullet, so I was able to just jump that route, grab that ball, get that pick, change the tide of the game. So the next play I want to go over here is the 4-6 speed fire zone, and this play can send some pressure. This blitz hasn't been as good since the patch, but it can definitely still get it done. So I'll either set him up like I showed you earlier by putting him on the right side outside of the left end, or I'll move him over like in this video I show over to the left side of the screen beside the right end. So I'm going to take over and show those setups now in this video. wanted to come out and level sail here against us. So, you know, just that basic play. We do see a lot of this online. It's got a lot of routes coming over the middle of the field and over to the side that I like. So very simple setup. We're going to base a line, crash or shift the D line to the left, crash to the left. Then we're going to move our blitzer over here and put them into a contain and also hard flats. You just kind of want him to be to the side here, so he still has the contain blitz, but he's just a little outside of your end there. And he should loop in over towards the middle. The guard and the center should both commit to the DT1 there in that spot. So, and he should come through the A gap, and then sometimes the left end will also get free over on the edge there. So let's see how this comes here. He's gonna come over, and you see they're both gonna get right free in there. See, that's best case scenario. That's not gonna happen every time, but I don't know, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4, 2 out of 3. A lot of times you are gonna get this really good mess up and basically the blocking where they overcommit there, and then they see these two are both going to get through there. And if you know, even if the edge had held there, you can see through the A gap he's going to get outside. And this is exactly why this blitz can work so well. It's awesome because even though he's on that contained blitz, it's like he remembers what this play was and how he's supposed to go through the middle. So he runs around the line there and then comes flying through there and down the A gap, and it's just completely open for him. So let's try that again, and I'll go through the setup a little slower here. So when you come out, you go, first thing you do is you base a line by pressing Y and then right on the left stick. Then the next thing you do is you press LB and left on the left stick, then LB again and left on the right stick. So that's sending up they're shifting them to the left and then sending the crash to the left. And then the last thing I do is I grab my user, bring him over here, press the left trigger and RB bumper at the same time to put the contain blitzes on. And then you just want to find him right there. And then last thing, press Y and down on the right stick to get the hard flats on the field. So usually what I do is I user that 3 receiver hook or maybe the safety in the middle of the field. Maybe one of the hard flats if you thought maybe they were going to throw to that side, or if you thought maybe the blitz isn't going to get through, you want to be there for some sort of crossing route or something on the right side of the field. And the reason I use the hard flats is so he doesn't have the quick check down to the running back. So let's see if he's going to get through, how he's going to get through this time. They get better blocking, but still the edge is going to get taken out. And I may have been able to throw that quickly to X, but you know, it was less than 3 seconds that blitz was getting in there. So I mean, they would have to know that working through the progression, typically on a play like this, they're even looking from right to left, so they might not see that at this point, but maybe if you thrown it a bit too much, then they would have been ready for it. So that's why it's a blitz I like to mix in to kind of catch my opponent off guard with it, especially because, you know, it's working here and there. We saw there it didn't work as well. It got through a little later. Its best case scenario is going to get in quick. So let's see again how quickly I can set this up. I think it's pretty quick to set up. Already got them in the contain and now on the hard flat. So you can be in this blitz pretty quickly. And they're pretty much all picked up, but you know, see, it's getting in there that fast pretty consistently. This time we can try to block the running back, and it should be picked up a little slower, but I don't think he's going to pick up the edge blitzer, I guess I want to call him. This Alexander here, who I move over, he's the linebacker blitzing. They're not going to pick, the running back's not going to pick him up for whatever reason. I think it's because of the weird angle that he's taking. They just don't, he doesn't recognize it. He's more helping in case something gets through here. So let's take a look. See here, the running back doesn't really help anyone. He's too late to, like, he doesn't commit to anyone. He doesn't know what to do, so he just kind of gets caught in the middle. So he's not even helping when he block on this blitz. So maybe if we moved him over to the other side, he might do more. Help out. We're gonna see here. It might actually hurt more because then through the A gap might be even more open. Let me take a look. No, it got me a bit more time. Still pretty decent, but got him a bit more time. So there's a lot of moves that your opponent is going to have to make to stop this blitz, and you're definitely going to be able to catch them off guard for a big loss in this game. So let's take a look at some of the gameplay footage I have as well of this. On the first play, my opponent's going to hand it off, and even there, it's going to stop the run like awesomely. So it's that's the thing. You're not really sacrificing anything there. As long as you get the pressure in there and you have a decent user, you should be able to contain. See, like here, we're going to break up that pass downfield as well. So we can stop the run, can stop the pass, and as you need it to, it can send in the pressure here. You see a little later here, another one. It's going to force him to make a bad throw. Here we're sending in the pressure. We see him getting over to the side there. We didn't have the contain blitz set up, so it's a little late to get in, but still they're going to find him. We got about 4 seconds before we could get in there, but we can see the pressure is getting there. Here the contain blitz is on, and it's coming in a little bit late. He tries to shake it, but he's not nothing. Everything's pretty much locked down, so he's able to get the blitz. Again, here we see the pressure is going to come in pretty quick. He's going to break free, stumbles a little bit, and we get that sack just like that. So the cover one hole, the next play that I'm going to show here, is great for shutting down the run, and that hasn't changed since any of the patches, so let's get into those setups now. Having this cover one hole and having everyone manned up helps with the run support. It really does. Having them in man, they seem to play rec a lot quicker and jump in those runs. As well with this play, I like to user the safety. Now most of the time I'm using this play when I think that my opponent is going to be running, but sometimes you're going to get caught in it. Sometimes they are going to pass on it. So I'm going to use a random play against us on defense and see how we can adjust. So you play like this, it does look like they're probably passing. It does a good job against the pass, generally because of this pressure. There's 4 guys rushing the passer, so it's very possible that one of them will get a shed and pressure will get in there quickly. A lot of times I might put them onto a contain blitz as well, and then I just try to balance out the second level here, and then just getting my user kind of behind them. And I'm just going to be kind of watching for what routes might be developing into some open field and just try to cut that off here. My team did a pretty good job of shutting down everything. There's not really anything I could do behind it there. Sometimes you're going to get caught. I'm just going to base a line, hitting Y and then to the right on the left stick. Then I'm press the RB button and up on the left stick just to spread them out, and then I'll just kind of click over to my safety to just kind of user him and just try to read the play and see where I'm going to be needed. Like right here I see I've got 2 wide receivers on the left side of the field, so I'm kind of watching where their routes are going, how to help them out, but he runs the ball and they're going to get in there quickly and stop that play. So again, I'm just base aligning, hitting RB, and then up on the left stick to just get them spread out. See, I might move these guys kind of over a little bit where I see there's 3 receivers over on this side of the field, and definitely the person who's using him, I'm going to try to move him over to just get him there a little bit quicker. And then I'm just going to kind of move my safety and my user over here to just kind of watch. I mean, I kind of think when you see this kind of play right here, you know the possibilities of like level sails, PA crossers, maybe a zone run. Those are kind of the possibilities that you're going to see, so that's kind of what I'm going to be looking for and trying to recognize that as quickly as possible. Okay, the tight end's running a route, so it's probably going to be an out route, but we're able to shut that down pretty quickly there. The coverage gets in. That's what I was thinking on this play, right? Like, who's going to get open if they do pass it? Because right away I see that the tight end's running an out route, running a route. Most of the time it's a corner route out of this kind of a formation. So I did see that. I was a little late to get over there to it as he was breaking, and he kind of just checked it down low anyway, and we're able to basically knock that ball loose. So see, this defense can get it done against the pass and get it done against the run, but let's show some specific runs actually and show how it does against them. So let me just pick the cover 1 here, and then our opponent, we will give them play tight. Let's see what we got for some stretch. Stretch is definitely dangerous this year. We'll have the computer run against us. Just gonna base a line, spread out the linebackers. Gonna use the safety here, and we know he's probably running to the right side here. Gotta get in there. We're gonna cut that down. See, stretch isn't gonna be able to get outside, especially as you're gonna have that user safety to get in there to back him up. base aligning and spreading the line here. Got my user safety. You're okay again. I'm just trying to shoot the gap to this side of the field, give some support, make sure he isn't able to break it off the edge wide there. That's all we really got to do. So now let's take a look at maybe a trap play and see how that's going to work against us. These trap runs I find to be really strong this year. I didn't see any actually of this playbook, but we'll just show a let's try just a dive and see how that we should be able to shut down. Even though I haven't been pinching the line at all here, this defense does shut down the middle as well. So let's just kind of see that here against us. Boom. So he's got nowhere to go, and we're able to shut it down. So this is, like I said, this is a defense that I've been using sparingly. I like to mix it in. I've got a few different things that I'm using to stop the run, so it's always good to have a different look to stop the run. It's so important. We're seeing people run so much more than we have for the first couple months of the game, and we are now, so you need some different run stops in your arsenal. So let's take a look at some of the gameplay footage I have here. First play, I'm in the blacks on defense. You see me moving my linebacker in a little closer, get to my user, recognize the run play, and my team's able to shut it down in the backfield. They're gonna get nowhere. Same thing as well here. I'm spreading my line, even shifting them over to the left, anticipating the run in that direction. When my opponent does go that way, the spin is way too late. We're already taking him down in the backfield. Here we see him trying to run stretch out, but my user's gonna get there, shut it down before he can even get outside and take it for anything of a significant gain. So here's a few plays where I'm actually getting caught in pass situations though, and right away, I'm recognizing where the open routes are, trying to shut them down, let my AI make big plays for me where I need to, or if I can get lucky enough to make that happen, when I need them, they come through. Another deep ball here, I click on late and just probably button mashing the controller, and I'm getting lucky to get a play here. Now this one, I think this is going to be a big old user lurk from me. I'm going to recognize deep on the ball here on this corner route is open. I'm going to get over there, hit Y button at the perfect time, get that user lurk, and I'm going to start to run this back. One guy to beat, no move, and he's going to be able to stop me there. So the cover 3 out of the 4.6 speed is very similar to the cover 2 invert, but I think you can make some adjustments out of it that are a little different. It's rather than having them in the deep halves automatically, the CBs, they're in those outside halves, so you may want to adjust those accordingly, or maybe it's a little easier to get it into sort of like a cover 9 look out of this one, so I may use it in those different situations just to kind of throw my opponent off, give them a different look. But generally I am using the cover 2 invert, but that's not to say that the cover 3 doesn't have its place. I'll break down some of these settings now. Play that I can just use so much of, I set it up the same way basically as the cover 2 invert, and I'm going to use the same person, and I just feel very confident I can shut down most plays. Now the thing is, I like it. The only real reason to use it is because the cover 2 invert has the deep halves already set up, where this one has the outsides in the outside basically. Oh shoot, sorry. B and my cornerbacks are basically in outside thirds. That's what I'm trying to say here. And so that's basically, if I want, I can switch one of them to a deep half, but generally I brought them out for that reason, so I'll leave them that way. And it just makes them focus more on the CB on the outside rather than also playing the middle. So it just, it just puts more responsibility on me to play the middle, and just basically whatever I think my cloud flats are gonna have to commit basically more down low. So it's just situational and when I'm gonna use it this way or that way, but I generally feel like I can shut down most plays with this defense. It's very versatile. I can stop the run, I can stop the pass, you can get the odd sack here and there if they do run outside. So I'm gonna quickly go over the setup. First thing I do is hit the Y button, base align, then I hit the Y button down on the right stick, then the Y button up on the right stick, then the RB button and up on the left stick to spread them out. Then the last thing that I do is I hit the LB and left on the left stick, then I'll double tap LB, hit X, and left on the right stick so that I have him into a spy, and then I'll hit the left trigger and right bumper at the same time to put them into a contained blitz. And I do find that contained blitz does help a little bit, just it kind of balances out the pass rush here is basically what I'm going to do. And sometimes if the quarterback isn't a threat to run outside on me, I would double tap LB and hit X and put him into a vertical hook. And then it's just basically I can use her more over the middle field here. I don't have to worry as much as that side of the field. If I think he might throw to a tight end like up the seam, it's a good reason to have that defensive end in coverage as well. So he moved over there, and then I can switch to the next level, and so just basically shutting down all the routes there. So we had to just check it down low. So I find that this defense, very versatile, easy to read a play coming. You can set this up very quickly, boom, I'm there. Sometimes I just like to back up some guys manually like that. Just give a bit of space here is all basically, so that they're, I don't know, I just find having that spread helps them play their zones a little better, so there's not as many conflicts. I'm just watching over the middle here. I send in the spy a little late. Bad, that was my fault. See, I hate when that happens. I clicked in on the right stick and it kind of affected my usering just a little bit there, I found, because I lost that step. I was using him the whole way. I knew that's what I was covering, that road outside there. But just as I clicked in the stick to send the pressure, I just lost. You just lose kind of a step, it seems like, when you click that stick. It just affects you. And there, so you're going to shut down the run. I don't know. I just feel so confident I can basically stop anything with this defense. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, I'm still going to get bombed. I'm going to get beat. Crossing routes can be a big problem with this cover 3 as well. They say that they kind of fixed a lot of that. I think they just fixed it with the cover. Oh, wow, what a move. I thought I had, wow, just sending the spin moves. Put me in the spin cycle. AI is going to burn me there. See, had the players there, though. He just made a nice move to beat me. So, we got 5 wide on us here. Gonna back up the coverage a little bit. I'm going to shift to this side. Just because the running back's over here, in case he's running a flat route. Oh, they're motioning over to that side, so we're going to balance it out again. And they end up running the rock, eh? Oh, it gets pretty good. See, I backed them off, so there wasn't as a good run support there. I definitely saw a pass coming when he was 4 wide like that. We go with hard flats here this time. Keep everyone a little closer because we only see 2 wide and we're under center. Ooh, little draw play gets in there. Oh, he gets more than I really should have let up. That draw play really threw this defense for a loop there, though. So take note of that if you are seeing a lot of cover 3 out of a 4-6, that maybe running the rock a little bit up his gut might mess them up. Ooh. Oh, wow. Terrible move there, computer. So he thought he had the outside, but we were able to get that play and shut him down. And let's take a look at it here in replay. See, right there, the way the cloud just crashed in on run support was awesome there. No one to help him out. He's in a hard flat, so he's going to commit to the run even earlier. Then look at that. 3 other guys in pursuit. He's got nowhere to go. So he does this stupid spin move to nowhere, and we're going to take him out. So yeah, this is a play that I'm using a lot, so I have some gameplay footage here that we can also take a look at. So here we go. My opponent drops back to pass, gets a lot of time, and I have the spy following him way late, clicking on in. And luckily I have that. I don't, though, and he tries to throw that man underneath, and we're able to just knock it down in the air there. Again, giving this opponent too much time, but I feel like the coverage is strong, so I'm able to click in a lot of times, especially anything over the middle, and just take that out using Sean Taylor or Amos. They're just so good at the click and picks. Again, here my opponents work the ball down almost to the red zone, trying to make that little pass, but Woodson in the hook zone is just going to jump on that ball. It's really tough sometimes with these zones. They're just so well defined. I find that they are shutting down most routes. It's just these little playmakers, if I give them too much time, they might be able to, but see, my opponent tries to roll out one way, throw across his body the other, and you're going to get picked off when you do that more often than not. Here he goes, play action, which is always a mistake. Pressure's going to get in there eventually. LT is going to make that sack. Boom. Look at that little little free throw shot afterwards, a little crossover, and for 3 in his face. Again here, he's getting a bit too much time. He's going to roll out. I send in the spy, and he's going to get that sack. You get a little too overconfident, I find, with this defense. Once you do, they see it a bit. They think they can throw wherever they want. You send in that spy, you're going to get sacks like this. Did that sack fumble. I thought I had a fat man touchdown here, but no, they say no to that. Gonna take him out by the shoelaces. See, I've got him backed out against his end zone, so I'm playing it safe. I see that I have the deep halves on the field, giving him too much time, but everything's on lockdown. Then I send in the spy, make the hit stick fumble, I recover, touchdown. This play out of the 4-6 speed, the engage 8, I really like to use to just kind of, it's a different blitz where you're sending a lot more at your opponent, and a lot of times when I'm just using the cover 2 invert, using the cover 3, just sending that at them constantly. It's good to have the engage 8 to just mix it up, use it a few times a game. If you're using the 4-6 speed, pretty much every play, then you want to kind of mix in the engage 8 just to throw your opponent off. Does an okay job against the run, decent enough, and can definitely get the pressure in there just by sending the house. So try this play out. I'm going to go over the setup here. The way that I set it up is I will base a line, then I will double tap RB, hit Y, put him in a hook zone, double tap again RB, hit X, put him into hard flat, again double tap RB, and then A, and put him into a hard flat. So from there, I'm just deciding if I want to cloud flat them or to leave them on the hard flats. If I think if the pressure's gonna get in there quick and my opponent might try to release it quickly, then I'd want hard flats. If I think they're gonna be looking a little further downfield, then I would go cloud flats. And as well, if I think that they're going further downfield, then I would put my CBs both into deep halves, basically, on the outside. And I just did that by double tapping Y, then picking each CB, and then hitting to the right on the right stick. Very simple. You can run through those very quickly, and then, I might spread out everyone as well, which brings them in, so I might, again, hit base a line after that and back them up. But I kind of want him still in close here and in contain. So just by something like that, basically, is what I might be looking for. And then I'm just going to use her over the middle of the field. I'm probably going to run it here too. But you should be able to show. Well, he's passing, so we've got the pressure getting in here, looking down to shut everything. And he does get that pass in there. Pressure didn't get in there in time. Looking for it to get in a lot quicker. You don't have to put so many people in coverage either. A play like this, you might just leave them in coverage, right, and just shift them over to the side, and just let that heat get in there as quick as possible. He's going to run the ball, and he's not going to be able to get outside when we've got everybody coming in from that side, so it's going to shut down the run. I like this play. It's not something you're going to scheme out of. It's a good, play to switch it up to keep your opponent guessing. I'll usually bring my user, my middle linebacker, closer to the middle of the field here. Ooh, nice play there in close from the line, knocking that ball down. And what was the other thing? Yeah, if you want to, you can see this, the CB, or the strong safety is coming in down low on the right side of the screen here. I'm going to click over to him. See, Barry is, in this case, you can man him up against a player as well, like, in this case, he's in pistol, and maybe you think that Jones is going to run like a little slant, and the deep blue on this play isn't going to cover that very well. So you might just quickly select him and then man him up on Jones, and you wouldn't really need to commit the hard flat over that side because you're doing that. You just have to be aware of it as a user. If he throws over there, you're going to have to get to that side of the field to help it out. But your first responsibility be over the middle. They hand it off, and we're going to get those sheds and get in there to knock it down. So it's a decent run stop. It's not one that I'm really going to count on to run stop because I think Stretch can do a good job of it with some decent blocking. He has to throw it away because the pressure got in there so fast that time. And I do have some gameplay footage too that we can take a look at because I'm using this play online as well to have a lot of success with it. My cat really wants to be the star of this show, doesn't he? Alright, let's take a look at some of the gameplay footage here. On this first play, see my user right over the line, and he's going to try to run the ball in QB sneak. We're going to take that out right away. Again, here I'm really close to the line, hovering a lot. He tries to throw it, it's just going to go off the line. Pressure's in there so quick. Again, drop it back to throw, give him a little more time, but the coverage is right in there. He's not going to be able to thread that little post route in there like you'd like to. And here my user's a little backed off, watching these routes over the middle and how they're breaking, and the pressure's going to get in there before he can make that throw, because he definitely had someone open in here. Pretty decent coverage, didn't send in that many, but still the pressure's going to get there, and we're going to get the sack. Ooh, the pressure got in there really quick on that one. Holy smoke, he got in there on like a looping kind of blitz on it. Everyone's locked down, he's got to roll out, and he's just about to get sacked, puts it up, and I'm able to get the big, perfectly timed user pick. Boom. So that's it for the 4.6 speed package ebook here. I know it's pretty small. There's only these few plays that I'm using, but with these adjustments, I generally feel that I can shut down most defenses. I may have to get out of it to stop the run. That's the one place where it can kind of let you down. With a really run-heavy opponent, you won't be able to sit in the 4.6 speed all game. You need to be able to make the stops with it, generally as best you can, but you may have to go to some other 4.3 depending on what book you're using to stop the run in those cases. So generally though, I really like the 4.6 speed package. I've been using it a fair amount and having some success with it. Let me know what you guys think. Hey, hit the subscribe button if you haven't for more ebooks and help with different plays and setups, and I break down Madden. Thanks a lot for checking out the video. I'll catch you guys later.